I gotta make it go live on the Instagram now. And then I gotta do the thing where it splits us, So I
Oh
gotta
yeah,
get on that. Yeah.
it's a process.
Oh my gosh. It's such a thing. So now I have to do the layout, and that should do it.
Yep. Because I see you. Oh, maybe I'll just go. There we go. I'm good.
Yeah, that looks good. Awesome
Perfect.
sauce. And now I'm just going to. Oh, by the way, so fun working on the second edition of my book.
Is it?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Really good. So, it's working on it for that academic publisher, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm adding little workshops after like 3 or 4 sections.
Oh, like working, like exercise, like work
Yeah, like
exercise they can go through and stuff.
yeah, like
Yeah.
write this, write your concept write a concept of your favorite movie as a log line, and then compare it with the actual log line. What's different?
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm doing like little stuff like that, and I'm thinking it's pretty cool.
I mean, it's your building curriculum essentially. That's
It's
what's
pretty
great about it.
it's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah.
All right, I just added that. Welcome to the podcast. We have people hopping on. We are live for episode 289. I am joined by the ever affable Christy Lee. Thanks for being with me.
Oh, I'm very excited to be here as usual.
Well, I have to get my weekly dose of Christy, otherwise I get cranky and annoyed. Um, so I watched a movie that I had been avoiding because critics just destroyed this film. Megan 2.0.
I'm gonna
Take a moment, catch your
I'm gonna
breath.
take a moment and then I'm gonna let you talk about your experience with it.
All right. If anybody has any screenwriting questions or comments in general, feel free to comment in the comment section there, and we will address it later on in the show. And also a little sneak peek. And just to put this in the back of your mind, I want to talk about Tilly Norwood.
We should have a conversation about her.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But first, let's talk about Megan 2.0. I It was crazy. I mean, I'm not one to bash a movie because I know how hard it is to
Mm-hmm.
make a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So they went from horror comedy, and the comedy was very light, to horror action. And I was watching the movie, and my wife walked in the room, and the first 30 seconds, uh, a robot, AI robot, punches a guy's head clean off, like
Mm-hmm.
clean off. And she goes, "He just punched the head off." I went, "Yeah, this is not what I thought it was going to be. We're in a completely different genre. I don't know why we're making Megan an action hero."
No either.
It was, I mean, could you imagine Chucky saving the day?
Oh, yeah, that like in the second movie he becomes like the hero.
Yeah, he becomes a good guy. Like, can you
Yeah.
can you see that? I can't see that.
I can't see that, but I can see a world where it's happened before because that's pretty much kind of what happened with Terminator 2.
Okay.
And so you've got the element of like Megan in the first movie again. It's
Yeah.
sci-fi horror comedy-ish, and then the second movie's like they just step it up and do this reversal of the role.
I love your perspective on that. I did not even consider for a moment that they used Terminator 2 as a template, but I think you're absolutely right. I
Oh,
think they
hands down.
did.
Hmm.
Yeah. It does not work when you're going from horror though to, if you go from a sci-fi action movie to a sci-fi action movie and you make a new, I can see the leap. But if the horror genre and the horror fans are so specific on what they
Sure.
want and how they want it, that you really want to appease those fans and still try and do something original.
Yeah.
Um, and no one was asking for this. I
Nope.
kind of want to. I kind of want to be a fly in the wall when they were pitching this idea,
Yes.
because I want to know
Or
how
in the
that went
room.
over.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yep. It's
yeah.
one of
Or in
those
the
moments
room,
where
waving a red flag. Stop.
hold on,
No.
hold on, hold on. Because I was like that through most of the movie, which was just like, hold on, wait, stop, pause it. I need to think about this for a second. Well, I mean, like, so we watched it a couple of months ago, and we avoided it too. So we did not see it when it came out in the theater. But we've been busy. But it certainly was not what I expected either. And I don't like to bash films, and then particularly in the horror realm. I know one of the screenwriters from this film wrote the first one, or was a part of writing the first one, and love that writer. And so I thought, is this one of those scenarios where so many studio people had their own thoughts and ideas, and so we just smash everything together because everybody wants all these things?
I think it's a victim of fast turnaround time, right?
And that
So
too.
Blumhouse, would they have a budget of like 12 million? I mean, when they do well, they make like 25, 30 mil, right? They made 189 million on the first Megan. So they're like, oh, we just made bank. Let's do another one right now. And that's 100%. That's what happened.
Oh, for sure.
They're leaning on the director and the writer, like, let's do this. Let's go even broader. It was such a big hit, right? Let's get a wider demographic. Let's go with action, so I can see it's snowballing. And then you've got the creators trying to be like, okay, and so here we go.
Yeah.
And then you get this, I mean, Christy, at one point it was Home Alone.
Yeah.
There was a Home Alone scene where they were like literally hijinks galore of slipping on this and hitting in the head with that. And I was like, oh no.
What's happening?
What's happening? Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, this is, like you said, too many hands in the pot, fast turnover, right? So they probably didn't get a lot of drafts in.
That's possible. Oh, yeah.
I think of like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, right? The Johnny Depp one.
Yeah.
Okay. So they had all of the sets made, everyone cast, and ready to shoot in 3 weeks with no script, by the way.
Oh, that just makes me want to barf.
Okay. So now they're panicking. We don't have a script. We have sets built. All right. So they hired John August, right? I mean, and the guy's like a legend. He did Big Fish, and he's huge on his podcast. And he had 3 weeks to write that movie. I mean, you're not gonna make miracles here. So he wrote that movie the best he could, and of course it got critically panned. Well, yeah, because he had 3 weeks to write it. You asked me to write a script in 3 weeks, we're gonna have some issues.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we were looking at there.
Yeah, it was. I can tell that it was we were watching it and I fell asleep, and then I woke up to her singing. And when I woke up to her singing, there was the moment that I went, okay, someone lost their way here. And then we just decided, just do whatever you can.
It was filler. Yeah, for
filler.
sure.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, even the dance scene, they put the dance scene in there, and we're like, I think that dance she did when she was killing, I think that dance scene she did in the first movie when she was killing the antagonist at the end of the movie, really. I think that was improvised. I don't think that was planned. I'm pretty sure that wasn't in the script. And then the little girl actor did this impromptu dance, and they loved it. And then she goes and kills the guy. So now we have a second movie with a bigger budget. So now we have to have like a full karaoke thing.
Yes.
And I was like, people don't need that, but what do I know?
It was not what I expected. I mean, the first one was a little not what we expected either.
Yeah.
I felt like that there was a lot of opportunities even in the first one that just kind of missed the mark a little bit, but overall it was enjoyable, and I could see what they were doing, and it was creative, and going into this world talking about like artificial intelligence because of where we at. But
Yeah.
The second one just felt like it was about 5 people that just said, here's all our fantasy things we want to put in this one movie. And it's going to be great because it's going to be her and she's become a pop culture star. So, like,
Right.
let's just do that.
Yeah, but imagine you take the married couple from The Conjuring and you have them doing karaoke in the second movie.
Exactly. Well,
Okay, right? Is
ironically,
that they
ironically,
do? Did I just put
Patrick
my foot in my
Wilson,
mouth?
no, Patrick Wilson actually sings in the second movie, but it's good and he's a great singer and it's not karaoke. However, use another
I'm toast.
example.
Why am I doing this podcast? All right, so that's hilarious. Let's talk about Tilly Norwood, man. I mean,
Whew.
the AI actor performer, I guess you would call them, that's making the rounds, and there's already agents out there trying to sign it,
Mhm.
and you know, I have thoughts. What do you think?
Um, Interestingly enough, I've spent my weekend here at the Boise Film Festival, and that has been a big topic of conversation.
Oh,
AI in general, but then this actual scenario. And I think that it's very, I don't want to use the word scary, but I can see where performers are coming from
yeah,
when
absolutely.
there is this fear or is this frustration and anger, because somebody mentioned the idea that, like, recently there was this AI band that like made this big hit. Now they're
Right.
like really well known.
Yeah,
But I kind of jumped in and I said, but the difference is the AI band is like, there's not a need for that in terms of there's an actual role to fill. And so we're just going to, instead of going to find a band, we're going to
right.
just make our own.
Yeah,
But now with this element of, there are performers that actually we need for a spot in a role or in a project. And instead of finding that person to give them a job, we're going to give it to a computer. So there's a whole different level when you're dealing with really truly kind of taking away not only actors' abilities and actors' opportunities to
yeah,
do these performances, but where's the creativity? Because then you can just really like mold and shape an AI character to
absolutely.
do
Yeah.
exactly what you want and say it exactly the way you want to say it,
Hmm.
instead of what the beauty of acting is these actors who come on and take these roles, they make them their own. They bring their own life into them and their own energy into them. And so an actor may come and do a role that a writer or director is like, I had it different, but then this person had this role and they
For
took
sure.
it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And that's what that's the beauty of performance. And that's just so lacking. It's going to disappear if we go this route.
I 100% agree. I mean, we've both been on set, and I remember writing several scenes and then being on set while they're filming it, like finding Nicole specifically, and watching the actors really, dig into the dialogue and just chewing on it, and then sitting back and watching their interpretation of the scene, which was fascinating, and then
Mm-hmm.
watching the director's interpretation of the scene and seeing how all of this they're taking it into deeper levels than I even thought when I was writing, and I'm no schlup. So you'll lose all of that, including like improv and happy accidents. Like that's all going to go away.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
The here's my theory. It will get pushed back from Hollywood. Hollywood will successfully push it back. However, my theory is that AI performances will grow on the indie market and it will grow in the international market. And then once audiences are desensitized from it 5, 10 years from now, Hollywood will accept it. I'm fairly certain we're going to see it. I don't think it's going to go away. And I think it comes down to money. Like I was looking at projections of how much it would cost to make a fully AI movie with AI performers and all of that stuff. And the projections I was looking at were scary. They were
Uh,
anywhere from 40 to 60% cheaper
yeah.
than a regular film budget. And that's all the industry cares about is money.
is money.
So if I go to a producer and I say, hey, we can make this outside of the US on an indie budget at 60% less, guess what? We've got an AI movie.
Yep. Yeah, and that's again, I mean, but at what sacrifice? So at what sacrifice are we saying right now the green is good and the money is
Mhm.
great because we're going to follow the money, and that's obviously the number one thing.
For
It's a
sure.
business. This is an economic industry. So
Mhm.
while we're entertainers and we're performers and we're creatives, at the end of the day, things have to make money, and so we understand that. But at what sacrifice? So, 10 years from now, you're right. We probably will be at that point. But
Yeah.
then what happens 5, 10 years after that? What happens
Mhm.
when it's not the audience even being desensitized? It's the audience being so like separated from reality that we almost have this reverse engineer back to, well, we want like the way like CGI took over and had this wave, and then like practical effects took the back seat. And
Right.
now this huge like jump back to practical is like better or like
Yeah.
cooler.
Yeah.
And I feel like that might be the cycle that we go through where we get to that point where the AI is just so big. And then people are like, but now we want real people back.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
and that's
what do we
that's a
lose in
great
that?
question, and then
Mhm.
where is the craft at that point, right?
Right.
I think you're right, the desire for, profit is short-sighted and will hurt the industry, and I hate to say that it is an inevitability. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but I'm just looking at the numbers, and the numbers are scary if
Yeah.
they're that cheap, and I just know.
Mhm.
We've been doing this 20 years, we
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Um that being said, as a writer, we will actually be, I think, potentially more relied on since you can't really have a bad script saved by a good performance. If you have a bad script and you have an AI performer,
Oh, it's
you're going to
terrible.
have a bad performance. So
Yep.
I would think that the need, I mean, maybe this is just me praying.
Yeah.
But I believe that the need for quality scripts will actually go up
Mhm.
as the use of in l
Yeah.
live performances go down, which is it's just so morbid to even talk about it, but I wanted to have the discussion, we need to talk about it.
Oh, no, absolutely. And I think you're 100% right. I do think that there will be an element that where they're going to want the human ability to come in and touch that. So maybe they have an AI script whipped out, but then they're going to have writers come in and fix it or rewrite it,
They're
or
gonna have to.
they're going to have to. There's no way. You're absolutely right, because AI is only pulling from what's out there now, and
Yeah.
then you have to have the ability to know prompting wise. That's very strategic on how you prompt in order to create the AI that you need. And so um, we've got to have a human element, and there's no getting around it. And I think that,
Yeah, I agree.
again, I'm with you. Like I want to save everybody's jobs, and I want to
I
save our
know.
industry. So there's a part of me that's like, well, but you'll still need us. So don't forget
Yeah.
us.
And that might even happen with actors. They might be bringing actors on behind the camera to be like, "No, this performance is way off," and then having an
Sure.
actor tweaking an AI's performance, which as insane as that sounds. Um, the thing about writing from I mean, I remember when AI back in the day when they were first testing out screenwriting, you would get this kind of AI slop, drug-induced nightmare of a script that made no sense, and we all laughed at it, and now the AI scripts are they make sense. There's no depth because just looking at the way AI works, at
Mhm.
having been someone who has literally trained a screenwriting AI, it just works within the database it has. It
Yes.
scrapes that database,
Yep.
averages it out, and then gives you a response. So any writing you're going to get from AI will be cliche because
Yep.
that's what it knows.
Yep.
So if you're just like, I have this script and AI wrote, if it's a script that makes sense, it's going to be cliche. You need a person in that process who says, this is trash. We can work with this. We can tweak that. So, yeah, I just think that what's going on with it.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
It's crazy, man.
It is scary. And there's everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
There was a at our film festival this weekend. There was a visual effects person who came to talk, and he did the visual effects for Lilo and Stitch and Dungeons and Dragons. And he was I asked him, that was my audience question to him, was give me the temperature on where you feel, with AI coming into play. And he loved the question, came up to me after and said he really appreciated it because it's what everybody's talking about. So we can't ignore it. We've got to face it head on, and we have to have
Yeah.
the discussion about it.
Yeah, you can't put your head in the sand. Gary Thomas, writer, says budgets will inflate and AI will get more expensive, though, depending on what's asked of it. I don't know, man. We'll see. I hope you're right to where it gets comparable with live performers and, it's not used as a way to put people out of work. But time will tell. It's happening either way.
Yeah.
So have you found any trash screenwriting advice for me?
I have not. I've been really busy
Okay,
this week. I'm
that's all
so
right.
sorry. Usually I keep up with my boards and my things, and I've been working this film festival, and so today I actually get to go to a panel and hear a screenwriter talk. So I'm very excited about that. But maybe you have something that we can bring
I
to the
mean,
table and
I
discuss.
feel like you should be on the panel. So let's just talk about that first of
And
all.
well, no, the person who's going to be on the screenwriter who's going to be on the panel he's got some amazing credits. So I'm very excited to hear him talk. And I am not on that level. I'm getting there, but I'm not on that level.
I'm not seeing any screenwriting questions per se. If anybody
Mhm.
has any, feel free to ask. One person said, let's see. Yeah, Gary Thomas Writer says now he wants to watch Megan 2.0.
Well, Godspeed. Good luck.
That's
Hope you
awesome.
enjoy. Hope you like
Yeah.
80s singer-songwriter music, because that comes and makes a really big jump in here.
One of our fans, Michael Mukatash, is in Jordan. He says, hello, Michael. All right. Bad screenwriting advice. What have I heard lately? Luck. This actually pisses me off a little when I hear that you have to have luck in the industry in order to make it. I do not believe in luck. I think it's baloney.
Uh-uh.
You need to make it in the industry as someone who's an outsider, who's been doing this 20 years, who broke in, and doesn't live in LA. It's time, talent, and tenacity. I call it the 3 T's.
Oh, love it.
Time, talent, and tenacity. But essentially, it's being persistent, not giving up, and really knowing your stuff.
Yes.
And what that does is it creates opportunity for you to start to prove yourself, and that's what luck is.
Yeah. It really is. It's not like people say, well, I was at the right place at the right time. But if you look at it from another perspective, no, you put yourself there. You took the time, like you said, you took the time and you traveled to wherever you went, and you were at a networking opportunity, like going to these networking events or festivals. You put yourself around the people that you would like to connect with and talk with. So it's not necessarily luck, it's putting in the work. I mean, that's just what it is. Like you can't just sit behind the screen and then just send emails out every day and then think this is how I'm going to make it big. It's just not reality.
As the baby boomers used to say, it's showing up.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. I still say that a lot. Just show up.
Just show up. Yeah. Yeah. You got to go in there with a firm handshake, look them in the eye. No, yeah, it's definitely, it's showing up, it's networking, it's knowing your stuff and being able to have the talent and the skill so that when that opportunity shows, you take advantage of it and they go, wow.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, if you can do all of that stuff, show up, make the contacts, rub elbows with people, and then you send them a trash script.
Oh yeah. Yep. How many times has that happened? Yep.
Yeah, and then say you're unlucky. It's not you're unlucky. You weren't ready.
You weren't ready. Yeah. You've got to be able to back up. If you're there and you're talking, you got to be able to back up what you're saying.
Absolutely.
And prove it. The proof is in the work. So.
All right. So Gary Thomas Writer says, I'm currently writing pages without knowing the full story. Is this ever a good idea? I would love to discuss this. So there's a difference between being a plotter and a pantster, right?
Ooh.
So George R. Martin, plotter. That's why it takes him 35 years to write a book. Okay? He has to plot every little thing, and then HBO beats him to the punch. Now, Stephen King, right?
Mhm.
Pantster, writes by the seat of his pants with no idea where he's going, which is why his endings never make sense.
That I could see. Yes. And
Um,
it's there it's like the difference is clear,
you see
but
it.
yeah, you see it for sure.
I'm not gonna say any one way is better than the other, but as a screenwriter who writes, in crunch times, I have to be a plotter.
Mhm.
I have to know exactly where I'm going. I have to see where the goalposts are so that I can get there in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a pantser and you're writing something and it's just flowing out of you, really what's happening is you are going into a cathartic state where you are expressing what you're dealing with subconsciously onto the page. And there's
Yes.
nothing wrong with that. It's beautiful. It can be emotional. It can be a little wonky, but if that's your process and that works for you, go for it. I never tell anybody one process is better than the other. My process is my process, and I teach it because I know it works for me and it's worked for other people. But if you can sit down and then just, Stephen King that thing, do it.
Yep. No, and sometimes it's even just the scenario that you're in. So there's times that I've just wanted to sit down and write, and I sit down and I just tootle, tootle, tootle all over the keyboard, and I just kind of write, and it just comes out. No idea where I'm going. I might have a thing or two in my mind, which is I want to write about this character or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And then the reverse or the flip side is I'm working on a project and I have a deadline, or I have a full 5 page of here's all these notes that you've got to kind of touch on. That then is where I'm like you. I have to plot. I have to really thoroughly kind of map out the blueprint of where I'm going. So it just, yeah, no one way is right or wrong. It's just where you are, and then what you're working on.
Do you ever find yourself, let me not put, I don't want to put you on the spot like this because this could be personal. When I'm writing, I know that the script is special when I tear up. When I start feeling my eyes well up during a scene,
Hmm.
I know like, oh, this is a special script.
Yeah.
And all the times I've had that happen, those scripts have been made. They've had that secret sauce where the producers, I had a producer write me and tell him he wept and he'd never done that before reading a script. So I know, if I get into that headspace,
Hmm.
you know, then it's going in the right direction.
Oh, for sure. No, I've had those moments too. Some of those moments have happened just because it's been something I've been working on for so long. So when I get to those moments in the screen or in the script, I've been thinking about it for so long that like I just this emotion comes out because I'm finally kind of putting it to life on the page. But yeah, when I've had those kind of, with me, it's like if something just sticks with me and I'm just consistently thinking about it and it just weighs heavy on me and it affects my emotions. The same thing. I usually get feedback, or people say that it's just, wow, this is just such a kind of powerful moment, and then I know, it's about sometimes those powerful moments that you want to get to. So yeah, just depends.
Have you ever had a moment where you've plotted out like a character's death and then as you're writing it, they're kind of like arguing with you about not yet? Have you had that happen before?
I've argued with myself on that. I've argued with myself. There's a moment in a script where I cry every time I read it because I kill a character and I
Yeah.
don't want to kill this character. So I wrote like two endings because I was like, I want to save this character, knowing
Awesome.
that is like, stop doing that. Don't do that. But yeah, I fought with myself on even having to hit those moments. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been there. I've been there.
I wrote this really great B movie cheesy Amazon adventure creature feature. It's
Mhm.
it's insane. It's wacky. I freaking love it. Um But I wrote this character who was supposed to die at the turn to 2, so that way the stakes are
Mm,
shown.
yep.
And when it came to the character's death, it was just like, no, not yet. I'm like, damn it.
Damn it.
You're supposed to die now, right?
I know.
I get I
Why?
get I know I get to mid act 2, she's still alive. I'm like, bro, what are you doing right now? I've
You're
got to
hanging
kill
on.
you off. Yeah, I know. And it wasn't until like mid act 3 where I was like, this is the moment. I was like, okay, all right, we get to kill
Well,
her off.
yep.
And it was an emotional payoff, man.
Yep. Yeah. I can
Yeah,
imagine. I can imagine when you don't want to let it go. You don't want to let that
yeah.
character go.
But she went
But
out in a glorious fashion, so I was
there
like,
you go.
fantastic. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
All right, I'm not seeing anything else. Well, is there well, great news that you're helping out the Boise Film Festival. I'm glad to see you over there, doing your
Yeah.
thing, representing indie film.
Yep. Yep. Been kind of talking networking with local filmmakers, with writers, with producers, and talk to everybody about the podcast. So I got some people to kind of jump on and listen to the podcast. And
Awesome.
yeah, it's great to just be around just creative, positive energy, and everybody's just having such a great time. So those are the things that like you take the effort to put yourself there. We talked a few episodes ago about like there's community out there. There are things out there. You're
Yeah.
not alone in this. You just have to put yourself out there, and you'll be surprised at what you connect with or who you connect with that helps you grow in your journey.
Well, do you want to do this again next weekend?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, guys, join us next weekend around this time. Save up your screenwriting questions, hit us in the comments, and we'll answer